Hi everyone, welcome to my live creative time today. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Welcome to another week of creativity. We are going to be making a card today, and we're going to be making something I don't do very often at all. In fact, I've only ever done a few of them. We're going to be making a shaker card today. So that's really exciting, and we're going to be using the Beautiful Butterflies bundle. In fact, we're going to be using the entire suite, which is called the, let me get the suite name correct. It is the Beautiful Bokeh Suite we're going to be using today. So this one is a fairly new one to me. I haven't actually had a proper play with the whole suite. So we're going to have a little bit of fun today. So this is going to be lots of fun. It's actually been around, that suite has been around for a little while. It was carried over into the online exclusives from the previous mini catalogue. But I think originally I got, no, I didn't get it originally. That's right. But I've had it on my shelf for a little bit, but only fairly more recently, and I still haven't used it. So I'm excited to use something new today. Well, new to me anyway. So I hope that you will enjoy that. Hey Rose, oh, thank you so much for your beautiful birthday greetings. Thank you so much. I had a lovely, lovely day. And thank you to everybody who had sent birthday greetings to me as well. I haven't had a chance to go back and thank everybody individually yet, but I will get through all of those eventually. But yeah, thank you. I did have a lovely day with my family yesterday, and we had a yummy dinner last night. We went to a local restaurant, and then we came back here for dessert, and we had a yummy dessert and presents and all the fun things. So I've got a few things to share with you today, a little bit of show and tell. So we'll do that in a minute, but let me just bring up this live on my other devices so that I can see everybody's comments there. So bear with me while I just bring that up here. Just get that ready. I am a little bit disorganized today because I was, well, often I prep on the Sunday night, even though it's supposed to be my day off. But of course, being my birthday, I did take the day off yesterday. However, today I had in my mind what I was going to do, and then at the last minute, like within the last half an hour, I changed my mind because the card I was going to make, I thought, oh no, that one needs some more thought because it has a theme. And I thought that one really needs some more thought, and I had in my mind what I wanted it to look like, and I thought that's going to be a bit of work and I need a bit of thought for that one. So I thought I'm not going to have time for that today. So we are doing the Beautiful Bokeh Suite instead. All right, so let me just pull this up on my computer. Just a moment, I'll get that. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, great. I can see everybody's comments now. Hey Glenda, great to have you here. Hi Leonie, great to have you here as well. Thank you for joining me, ladies. It's lovely to have you here. So as I said, we are going to be playing with the Beautiful Bokeh Suite today, which includes the Beautiful Butterflies, you're probably seeing that back to front, the Beautiful Butterflies bundle, which the dies are actually oh look, I've still got them even in the packet. That's how new they are to me. I haven't even taken them out of the packet, but the dies are, that's the dies there. So they're a bit special, these dies. They do some special things, but they also coordinate with the Beautiful Butterflies hybrid embossing folder. So that is really beautiful as well. Now, I don't think we're using the embossing folder in today's project, but we will use some of the dies. In fact, we're going to use that large butterfly die. And as I said, I haven't used this one before, so I'm going to be learning along with you all today how to use it. And they've got the pretty little gems. Look at those. Aren't they gorgeous? These are the itty bitty bokeh mix. They're like little sequins of all different sizes and colors, and they've got a little bit of texture to them, some of them as well, which is really pretty. So we're going to be using those, and of course the beautiful stamp set and the DSP, which I have here as well. I don't have very much of the DSP because I have had this for a while. This is probably the product out of the suite that I've had the longest. And I did use some of this in my original product shares when this became available back with the last mini catalogue. So I don't have a whole heap of this left, but anyway, I'll go through what I do have left, but it's really, really pretty paper. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be playing with today. Hey Leslie, how are you? Great to have you here. I can chuck that packet out now because now I've opened it. So my new products. So we've got lots of beautiful colours happening today. Speaking of colour, did you notice my new brooch? Isn't this just so cute? This is one of my new Erstwilder brooches. This is my cupcake. It's actually, what's this one called? Because there's been a few different cupcake brooches. This one is called Iced Cupcake, and it's one of the Catherine Sabbath collaboration brooches from Erstwilder. But how cute is the little box that it comes in? Look, I'll show you. It's really cute, very pretty. So there was a whole, and inside you get a little blurb about the brooch. This was one of my birthday presents, and the sprinkles on top are actually sprinkles. Like they well, not edible ones, but they're actually textured. So, and the frosting is like all sparkly warkly, but I don't know if you can see that on camera. But yeah, I really love it. So, and I'm wearing this one because it was my birthday yesterday, as some of you already know, because you've all sent, some of you have sent some beautiful messages to me, which I'm very thankful for. Thank you for those. Yeah, so that was just one of my beautiful birthday presents, but it's bright and cheerful and fun, and I thought, you know what? It's going to go great today. And these earrings as well, these are little roses. I don't know if you can see the detail on those. They're pale pink roses. They've got sort of like a pearlescent effect to them as well. But they were one of my birthday presents as well. So I don't have any quite as bright pink as my brooch, but I thought, well, these are pink, so they'll still go. So a bit of fun. I like a bit of colour, like a bit of pop. And I love being able to wear art. So there you go. Love artistic things. So there you go. So how was everybody else's weekend? Let me know what you got up to. I would love to hear about it. And those of you who are on the east coast of New South Wales, are you braced for the weather that is coming? So it's been a lovely day today. But tomorrow the weather is going to turn a little bit nasty apparently, because we've got I don't know if they call it a tropical low. It's a low pressure system anyway that is coming in to the coast. So it's going to be quite extensive from up Newcastle way all the way down to Wollongong, including Sydney. So please stay safe, everyone. Take care and stay safe during that. And yeah, it's a good time to stay at home and craft if you can. If you do have to go out, yeah, take care. But anyway, usually I say those things at the end, but I just thought I would broach that now while it was in my mind. Yeah, but as I was saying, like great times to be able to stay at home and craft. So before we jump into my project today, do you want to see some of my other special little presents that I got? So, oh, it's already cold and rainy up there, Glenda. Okay, yeah, actually, my daughter's on the Gold Coast and she said that the weather yesterday was a bit miserable too. She got very wet and cold at work because she works outdoors. So, yeah, she was pretty cold and chilly last night. So yeah, so I think it's heading down to us, Glenda. All right, so this is one of my new passions, my new collectibles, and I was introduced to these bags by, I'll show you quickly before we jump into our crafting. Hey Dimity, great to have you here. I was introduced to these by some of my new broachy friends who I just met earlier this month at a lunch that we had for locals who collect Earthwilder brooches. And they introduced me to these gorgeous bags that I never knew. Like, we're collectors, right? Crafters are collectors, but there are so many other things out there to collect. So bags are my new thing. Now, I haven't put the shoulder strap on these yet because I just got them last night. So, but anyway, but the reason I love these too is they're interactive, they're very tactile, they're handmade, but also too, for me, it's like a card on a handbag that you can enjoy every single day and take with you. So this is the first one. Are you ready? So you're going to see it backwards. So this is my first little handbag. That's the shoulder strap. So it's a good little size actually. It's like a large size, sort of pencil case size, I guess you'd say. It's just like a little satchel type one. It's got a little extra zipper at the back, and look at the little crab. He says on the back, sorry I couldn't make it, I was in a board meeting, and he's got a surfboard. So I thought that was really cute, and he's on the sand there. But look at all the detail in the front. This is all hand woven on the trunks of the palm trees, and this one reminds me of Hawaii and Fiji as well, which are family holidays that we've had. So that's another reason why I loved this one. Also too, it reminds me of my sister, because my sister and her husband and their kids my sister and her husband are surfers, and their kids used to surf, sometimes still do surf, some of them, but not all of them. So it reminds me of them as well, also of my holidays. But how cute is this? Look, they're interactive. So this is a little swing tag above the surf shop, and also these little doors, if I can just get in there, they open and you can see inside the shop, and there's a little white fluffy dog, well, a big white fluffy dog actually, a bit bigger than Callie, but reminds me a bit of Callie. So it also reminds me of my holidays we used to spend down in Ulladulla, which, if any of you know Ulladulla, it's like a little coastal town. There's a lot of surfers down there, but my sister and her family used to live down there before they moved up north to Queensland. And so this also reminds me a lot of all the holidays that we had down there in Ulladulla when we used to go and visit them. So yeah, just a bit of fun, but yeah, it's a functional handbag. So, and it's a good size. It'll fit all that I need in it to, you know, to go shopping and things like that. So yeah, so these Vendula bags, they come in all different sized bags in each of the themes. This is an older one, so I got this one on special actually. So they come with different types of bags, different sized bags, wallets, coin purses, like there's a whole range in each series that they release. But yeah, they're just a bit of fun, but yeah, it's something that I can use and enjoy every day. So, and you know, it might bring other people joy as well as they look at them, and yeah, well, I hope it will anyway. So that was the first one. I'm just popping it back in their little the little pouch to look after them. And the other one, has anybody seen these before? Have you seen Vendula bags? Let me know if you have. I would love to know about it. Hey Jenny, how you going? So very icy this morning down there in Tassie, but lovely in the sun. Ah, nice. Oh, this one's hard to get out of the, it's just, this one's just slightly bit bigger than the other one. This one might remind you of something. So tell me if it does, if it reminds you of something. Again, we've got the shoulder strap. I've still got all the padding in the bags too. I haven't taken the padding out. And there's a little internal pocket as well inside the bag, so that you can put things in there. So it's got the strap. But this, look how cute this one is. Isn't that just so adorable? So it's a little, it's called Le Petit Crêperie. It's like a little crepe shop. So how cute is it? So adorable. And like it's got little, these are like little interactive pieces, and the tag is a little, that's the little, the shop sign. And it's got little lace curtains. They're actually lace. And it's got all this detail, and it's very tactile. Like a lot of these little pieces, they're sewn on, like they're actually sewn on as extra pieces. And then you've got the little door, which has a little magnet on it, so it snaps shut. But you open up the little door, and look, there's a little Callie. There's a little Callie in there. And you can see in there where they're making all the crepes, and they've got the glass cabinet there with all of the yummy things that you can choose to put on your crepes. Isn't that just so fun? So cute. And then on the back, it's got some little crepes there. So there you go. Have you ever seen these bags? So this one, I would have loved to have gotten this one. I really like this size. I think this is a great size for me, because as big as the bag is, we're going to fill them, right? So, and for me, I will always overpack. So I always will take extra of everything. So I think this size bag is a good one for me. And a little bit more affordable too, because some of the big ones, yeah, you got to save up your pennies. So, hey Janelle, how you going? Lovely to have you here with us. You haven't seen them before, Dimity? I had never, so that's the brand, Vendula London. They're designed in London, but they're available here in Australia. I actually got these online from a shop in Australia. But yeah, if you want to know more, let me know, because I've got other details about these bags if you're interested. But anyway, so that was just some of my beautiful birthday presents that I got yesterday. So I was very, very spoiled, and I got a whole heap of other brooches, which you'll see over the coming weeks as I wear them, and earrings too. So you'll see them as the weeks go on. Yes, so I was extremely spoiled. So it was very nice. All right, well, I think we should get into our crafting now. I've done my show and tell. Oh, I've got my cards to show you, but I'll show you when I put the camera down onto the desk so you can see them around the right way. I've got some beautiful handmade cards that were sent to me. And then I've got a beautiful card that Amber made for me, which is absolutely stunning. A beautiful card that my daughter-in-law painted for me. She loves doing watercolor, and she painted me and made me a card. So that was from my son and my daughter-in-law, but my daughter-in-law did the painting. Yeah, so I'll show you that when I put the camera down onto the desktop. So let's get going. I'll cover up the camera. Keep chatting with me. If you did something exciting on the weekend as well, let me know. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Leonie says, not seen them before, but they are beautiful. Will be interested in details. Okay, awesome, Leonie. I would love to give you those details. Alrighty, we will, yeah, we'll chat about that. All right, here we go. Bear with me. I'll just get the camera ready. I'm really glad you can't see my facial expressions as I adjust all of this. As I screw my face up, as I try to do all the adjustments and tighten things up, I'm sure it must look quite funny. Alrighty. Let's do a flippity flip and a zoomy zoom. Come on, zoom, zoom. There we go. Now, how close are we today? Whoop. See if we can get this straight. Don't think that's straight. How's that? How's that looking, everybody? I might need to move this over. Not sure if I've got that. I always like to put something on the desk there. Yeah, I've got that zoomed in just a little bit too much. I'll just see if I can go back out again. Come on. Oh, there we go. Whoop. Sorry, it's a bit of a process now. I believe that there are some updates coming that should help with all of this, but they're not coming for another couple of months. So we'll see. We'll see if it eventuates. There we go. How's that looking, everyone? What do you think? So, oh, hey, Julie. How you going? Oh, you just missed me showing my brooch and my beautiful new handbags. You'll have to go back and watch the beginning later. Beginning of the video on the replay. Oh, you love this stamp set, Janelle. Fantastic. You haven't had a chance to play with it much. Well, guess what? Today's the first day I'm actually playing with it too. So we can learn together today. I've got the whole suite. So this is what we're going to be playing with. I'm going to go back over all of the products in this suite in a moment. But before we do, let me share with you my beautiful birthday cards. I'm going to save Amber's one till last because it is amazing. All right, so I got this beautiful one, this happy birthday one from one of my team members, Fiona. So thank you again, Fiona. I have already thanked her in person, but it's a fun fold card. And this one opens like this, and then it stands up like that. Isn't that cute? Sorry, I haven't got it standing up quite right, but yeah. So then as you display it, you can actually cover up the greeting from whoever wrote it as well. So that's really cute. I hadn't made one of those fun folds like that before. I hadn't seen that before, but yeah, so that was really beautiful. So thank you again for that, Fee. I got this beautiful one from Alison. I think this one was from Alison down in Victoria. Yep, my beautiful friend Alison down in Victoria. And this uses the one of the mix and match, I forget what it's called, Memories and More cards. I can't remember which one it's called, but anyway, some of you might remember. Yeah, so that's really lovely. Thank you so much for that one, Alison. And then I got this one from my beautiful friend Janine. And Janine also lives down in Victoria. I love the colours in this one, really clever. And I love to hear how she's used one of the label stamps, and she's actually stamped it 3 times in 3 different angles to create this, is it called a tessellating pattern? Is that what you call it? Yeah, it's really cool. I've not done that technique before. So I thought that was really clever. I'll have to have a go of that one day because I do have that stamp set too. I got this beautiful one from my beautiful husband. Isn't that just a stunning card? He always finds the most beautiful cards, and the messages inside are always just so beautiful and heartfelt. And yeah, so I love that one. I'm not going to open up the inside because he's written personal message. This one is so cute. Isn't it gorgeous? This was hand painted by my daughter-in-law. Isn't she just so clever? Yeah, so she's just starting to get into card making. So we've been giving her some supplies and teaching her how to make cards, but she loves watercolor. So she's actually painted this with her watercolor, with her little balloon doggy. So that was really cute, that card. And then they've written a message. My son has written a message on the inside. She did paint happy birthday on the inside too, but I won't open the inside because they've written me a personal message. And then I received this one, this beautiful card from Amber, my daughter. Most of you will already know Amber. She helps me in my business as well. She works as my assistant in my business. And she made this all with Stampin' Up products. Isn't it just stunning? It's so beautiful. There is so many hours of work in this card. And she knows I love purples and pinks. They're my 2 favorite colors. So she's made this one purple. She knows I love distressing and gold and embossing and texture. She's just gone all out with this one with the purples and the greens and the golds and the neutral tones. Look, she's even trimmed down some ribbon. I had to investigate this very closely last night and thought, where is that ribbon from? And she's actually cut some of the ribbon in half lengthways to create a really fine ribbon. Isn't that just beautiful? And she did a great job. Can you see all the gold on there? And this label, I'm like, wait, where is that label from? I don't remember seeing that label, thinking maybe she'd used something different, like not one of our products. And she's like, no, that's actually from the Storybook Moments suite. It's one of the label, one of the dies, and it's on its side rather than vertically. I would never have thought to use it like that. But isn't that just so stunning? And she's handmade all of her flowers. Now, she did tell me which die that was. I can't remember which die it was, but she die cut the flowers in the different sizes, and then she spritzed them with water and then scrunched them. So I've taught her very well. And then let them dry, and then once they had dried, she then daubed them with some ink to give them the light and the shade. So, and she's made 3 different sizes there. They're just so beautiful. She's so clever. So now I've shown you all of these. I can put them back out on display out in the... Actually, I must ask her which paper this one is, because that's really pretty. I don't know if she's stamped on that paper, or I'll have to ask her what that paper is. Or maybe she inked the embossing folder and then ran it through. No, because it's not embossed. Ooh, I'll have to find out which paper that one is. Amber, if you're online right now watching, which paper is that purple paper? You have to let us all know. It's really pretty. Anyway, so yeah, so really beautiful. So I'm very, very thankful for everything, and yeah, really got spoilt. So there you go. So I would love, yeah, I would love to case that card, but it's a unique one, so I kind of, lots of early mornings. Yes, lots of early mornings you did. So she did lots of early mornings to get that card done. So she got up early in the morning before I was up so that she could work on it over several days. Yeah, she's a bit sneaky like that. She knows Mummy likes her sleep. All right, so let's have a look at what we're playing with today. Amber, while you're there, now that you are there, do you remember which paper this one was? This purple one? That's beautiful paper, whatever that is. Or did you create that one yourself with some stamps and ink? That could be actually inked. Feels like it's got a bit of texture, so maybe she's inked it herself. Knowing Amber, she's probably created it herself. All right, the Beautiful Butterflies bundle. It is, the purple is created using blending brushes. Yes, I thought that when I had felt it. And the damask stamp. Oh, in the Beautiful Motif stamp. Okay. Oh, thank you. I didn't think to ask you that last night. But, oh, there you go. There you go, everyone. Now you know how to create that paper. Yes, it is, yes, a secret. That's right, Julie. All the paper has been hand created. No DSP. Oh, there you go. Yes, I knew that she created this one because I know that she had stamped that, she's embossed that, she's inked that, but I wasn't sure about the purple one. So there you go. Now that you say that, I can see that that is that damask stamp. Yeah, and I thought it had been blended with ink because I could feel the, you can just sort of feel the different texture with the, you can feel sort of the inky texture on there. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, Rose loves your card, Amber. Oh, talented like your mum. Oh, thanks, Rose. Hi, Athena. How you going? Yes, I am well, thank you. I hope you are also. Oh, the base of the purple paper is actually basic beige cardstock. Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, because I guess if you coloured on white, it would look very different, wouldn't it? And because the card is sort of a neutral, has neutral bases, like neutral tones to it. So that makes sense. Yeah. That basic beige cardstock is beautiful, and this is the basic beige. Oh, I've got something on there. I've probably put it down on something there. Yeah, but yeah, love all the neutral tones. Just so beautiful. All right, let's get on to our card today. So the stamps, sorry, the dies and the embossing folders come together as a hybrid embossing folder set, and you can get all three of these together in a bundle. So the stamps, and so these always come together, these two, that's how they come together as a set. So you can purchase them together as one product, and you can purchase the stamp set together as a single product, or you can get all three of them together as a bundle, which you'll save yourself 10%. And I tell you, if you buy the stamp set, you're going to want the dies anyway, so that's what I would do. And remember at the moment, oh, I didn't get my flyer out. Hang on a sec, let me grab my flyer. Totally forgot to get my flyer out for you all to remind you of the sweet product sale, because that ends today. Today's the last day to get your hands on some of those products at 50% off. So when you buy one, you'll get 50% off the second product within a suite, within any of the suites. The 50% will come off the lower priced item. Okay, so for instance, I guess if you wanted to get the bundle, you could get this whole bundle from this suite, and then you might like to get another bundle from another suite at 50% off. Like, you'd be saving a lot of money doing it that way. Or if you only wanted this bundle and there was no other bundle that you wanted from any of the other suites, I guess what you could do is purchase the hybrid embossing folder with the dies as the first item, and then you could get 50% off the stamp set. So you could do it that way as well, if that's all that you wanted and you didn't want anything else. Just be mindful though, if you're purchasing any other products that are part of the suite, so you might be wanting to purchase the embellishments or the paper, then whatever is the lowest priced item is what you're going to get the 50% off on. Okay, so just don't get caught out, because you want to really, this sale is great for the bigger priced items to save yourself more money and get more value. Or you could do the whole suite and get the whole suite and then get 50% off on another suite, but whichever suite is the lower priced item is the one you get the 50% off on. Does that make sense? It's a little bit of a confusing sale, this one, but it is a great one to save big bucks on those bigger ticketed items, those more expensive items. So I did that with some sweets. I got a couple of sweets and I got one at 50% off, which saved me a lot of money. So yeah, so anyway, just an idea. But yeah, this does end today, the 30th of June. So if you want to get your hands on any of those items at 50% off, make sure you do that before the end of today. Okay, alrighty. Okay, so what we are creating today is, you're not even going to be able to see it, but I printed it off our resource sheets that we're able to access as demonstrators. It's one of the perks of being a demonstrator. But we're going to create this card here, which is a shaker card. Now, I don't make many shaker cards. In fact, I've only ever made a couple at most, or maybe a handful at most. In all the years I've been crafting, or maybe I did more way back when, but I don't tend to make them these days. And I haven't used these products before, so this is going to be interesting today. We're learning together today, so yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun. All right, so I guess the first place to start will be working out our measurements for our cards and the colors. So I've got a larger image of the card that we're making. We're actually just casing today. We're casing one of the, I might change it up a little bit, but basically we're casing a project from the online exclusives that you can see when you look at this bundle. So if you look up this bundle, the Beautiful Butterflies, you'll see the project that we are casing today. Okay, so this isn't my own design today, I'm afraid, because I just changed my mind at the last minute what we were going to be doing, so I didn't have time to design anything. Alrighty, so let's have a close look at these dies. Now these dies are very interesting, and I have seen a lot of other demonstrators using them. This large one, you can actually cut an entire card in that shape, in that butterfly shape. And there's a certain way that you line up this die on your folded cardstock to be able to do that. Now we're not doing that today, but we are just using the large shape of the butterfly. So we're going to be cutting that out of the cardstock. Okay. Yeah, so that's basically what we're doing with that. And then you've got all of these little butterfly pieces. You've got the little wings here. You've got the bodies. You've got the large body here of the large butterfly, but we're leaving ours open because it's going to be the shaker. Oh, you know what I was trying to find before I went live was my my adhesive strips, and I didn't find them. I might have to have another quick look in my drawer in a moment, but I'll get back to that. And then you've got some outline dies here that coordinate with the smaller butterflies here. Okay, so this large one coordinates with the larger butterfly, which you'll see when you open up your stamp set. It is a lot bigger than what you see on the front because they're only shown at, wait, I need my glasses on, 85% on the front. Okay, and you've got lots of lovely sentiments on there too, so you can use this stamp set for lots of different occasions, which I love stamp sets that have lots of different occasion sentiments on there. Okay, and then you've got these little wing pieces as well that you can do detail inside the wings of the butterfly. If you want to add some extra color that way, or you can just stamp the outline and then color them with your preferred coloring tool. We're going to be using some blending brushes today. Wait, there's more. I didn't realize. No, okay, so this must be the one where you, see, I told you, we're learning together today. Okay, so this big one, that is the one for creating the card in the shape of the butterfly. This one is the one that coordinates with the stamp. That makes better sense now. Oh, Amber just actually, yeah, she just posted a comment there. There are 2 sheets of dies. I only just looked up and saw that, Amber. Thank you. I would have seen that eventually. It was stuck behind the first one, so I didn't see it. There we go. So, everybody, there are 2 sheets of dies. This is the one we're using today, this big one. And we might use the label dies for the sentiments as well. And then you've got the detail die inside there as well, which you can also die cut if you want some detailed butterflies, which is really, really pretty. So there's lots of things that you can do with this stamp set and die set. And then the embossing folder. See, I told you I was new at this. You can see I've taken this one out to have a look, and I've put it back in the packet, but I don't think I've actually used it for anything. Amber might have used it for something. I think, did you use this for something, Amber, on a project? I feel like Amber might have used this for something, but I haven't used it myself. But these butterflies are gorgeous. You've got the big one in the middle, and that must be the one that coordinates with this die. And I haven't even traced around. Be careful when you remove your dies from your packets when they're brand new that you don't bend them. Just have them down on a flat surface when you're trying to remove them for the first time, because that tape that holds them on there is very, very strong, and you don't want to bend them. Yeah, so I think it must be this one that fits inside. Yes, oh look, it snaps right in there. So you can die cut and emboss at the same time. Now with the hybrid embossing folders, usually with the outline ones like that, my machine is okay. If they have a lot of metal around them, like a lot of the metal dies, my machine won't take them, because if the hybrid embossing folders, because the tension on my machine is quite tight. So if you've got a lot of metal inside the embossing folder, it's too thick for my machine. My machine won't take it through. But I think this one, we're going to have a go and just test it today. I think my machine will be okay with this one because it's only, I got a little bit of metal there inside of that die. But otherwise, if you find that your tension on your rollers is also too tight and it won't go through, you can just do the embossing and the die cutting separately. So you can die cut the piece first, then lie it down over that piece on the embossing folder, close that through. So if you had your cardstock, and then put that through. Actually, let's have a go and we'll see. Not that we're using that today, but we'll have a little play before we make our shaker card. All right, I've got some cardstock here. We'll do this first piece on just some white, just while we're having a little play here. I'll just cut my A4 cardstock in half at 14.85. Then I'll turn it on the long side and cut it at 10.5. All right. Now, what I might do, let's see. Yeah, okay, I'll put the whole thing in. So I'm going to put the die on the side of the, is that going to be the right side? Let's see. Which side? That's the front. Just working out which side the die goes on. So that's going to be embossed that side. So the die, I think, should go on that side also. I think that's right. We'll have a go and we'll see. As I said, we will have a play together and we will work it out. All right, so that should snug around the shape in the embossing folder. So that's nice and snug there. It's snapped in. Oops. Snapped in. And then we're going to put our cardstock over the top. And then we'll close that up. Okay, now flip that back over so it's like that. I think that's the right way around. All right. Now, this is a 3D embossing folder with the hybrid die as well. So I'll just bring my machine over. I think for this one, we just need the base plate and then the 2 clear plates. So I've got the base plate. I've taken out the die adapter. We'll put the, that one's a bit warped actually. I might put one on top and this one on the bottom. Always put your hinge through first whenever you're using an embossing folder so that you don't crack your embossing folder. And then this one over the top. And let's see if my machine will allow it to go through with the, it's actually already very tight. Do I not have that right? Oh, you know what? That's a 3D embossing folder. I don't need those two. I need my embossing plate. Silly me. Hang on a minute. This one, the grey one. So we've got our base plate, our embossing folder with the die in there, and the grey plate. Let's try now. That feels better. There we go. So that rolled through nice and easily. Yeah, there's a different one that we had that had a lot of sentiments on it, and it was just a lot of metal of the dies in the dies, and my machine just did not like it. But this time it worked. Yay! And I did it round the right way. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. There you go. So it does work. And look, now we could even use that potentially as our shaker with the butterflies around it. We could. We could. Should we? Maybe we should. I might just need to trim that down a little bit. I was going to do blue, however, but we could do another one in blue, couldn't we? So the one, I'm just having a look at the one on the sample. The one on the sample, they had the butterfly flying in that direction, but if we use the embossing, we could have the butterfly flying in the opposite direction. That would work. I think that would work. Maybe we should do that, and then we can ink these butterflies in different colors. Let's do that. Let's change it up. Let's change it up. All right, so we've had a play with that. We can see how that works. Now you can just use the embossing folder just on its own as well, just as a regular embossing folder, but it is a 3D, so you will still just need your number 4 grey plate with your base plate, okay? Not the clear plates. When you use the clear plates, that's when you're using a regular embossing folder, not a 3D one. Sorry, I just got a little bit mixed up there for a minute. All right, so let's do that. I didn't show you the paper, did I? I'll quickly show you the paper, and I'll pop this die back. Hang on a minute. Find my die sheet where I just took that off. Where is it? Did you see where I put it? Haha, there it is. I'll just wrap it around. Yeah, so, and then if you want details on your butterfly, you can cut that detail die out. And look, these two layer inside of each other as well, so you can probably do something with those. This is the paper. Now, this paper pack is a 48 piece pack, sorry, of 6x6 designer series paper. Now we've chopped some up. We have used some of this paper, and this is what we have left. I was going to use this piece today, but now that we are we're doing that piece, I think it's, yeah, I don't know if we will still do that, but I'll keep that one aside just in case. Oh, actually, what's on the other side of that one? Oh, that's pretty too. Look at the colors on that one. So this is the Beautiful Bokeh 6x6 designer series paper, and I'll show you each side of that. That's pretty. So you get several pieces. That's the one that we are using today, potentially. Got that. Got some Calypso Coral. There's a few sheets of that one. And we've got some Berry Burst as well. So I'm not sure, how many patterns is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the same as that one. 5. That's that one. 5 and 6. I'm not sure if that's all the patterns, and then you get multiples of each pattern. Is there any other patterns in here? I think that's it. I think that's it for the patterns, because these are all scrappy bits and they're the same patterns. So there's 6 patterns. They're double-sided, so that gives you 12 different patterns, and you get a total of 48 sheets in the pack. So yeah, so there you go. But yeah, it's really, really pretty paper. I love it. Reminds me of like tie-dyeing almost on this side, almost like tie-dyeing. And then this side is more like watercolor. Yeah, watercolor effect and splatters and things. I love a good splatter. So these are the colors that are in the paper. We've got Balmy Blue, Berry Burst, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, and Fresh Freesia. And they look beautiful together, don't they? Look at those beautiful colours. They look so nice together, and you've just got that pop of yellow in there too, which is really pretty. And then the bling, this is the last part of the suite, the Itty Bitty Bokeh Mix. So you can use these as individual sequins, or you can use them as shakers like we're going to do today. So there's a few different sizes, and there's some texture on one of the ones in there as well, different colors, but they're so sparkly and pretty. So there you go. All right. Now, what we're going to need to do with this is we will need to trim that down to the card base. Now, I was going to do a blue card base. Get the Balmy Blue, because I don't use Balmy Blue very often. And the original card that I was looking at creating was in the Balmy Blue. And I thought, you know what? Let's still go with Balmy Blue because it's not a colour that I use very often. Oh, that's pretty too, but I like that colour. So if we did something like that and then had that over the top, so you can just see that around the outside. Not going to see much of the DSP actually. So maybe I should just focus on that with that. And do a bit of colour on this one perhaps. Maybe that's what we'll do. All right, let's just cut our card base. Making it up as we go along today. It's called Wing It. Usually you have Wing It Wednesday. Well, I think today we've got Wing It Monday. All right, so we're going to take our A4 cardstock. We're going to cut that in half on the long side. Oh gosh, my eyes today are not good. I need to put my glasses on. Here we go. All right, 14.85. Cut. And then we're just going to score this at 10.5. For our card base. Okay. Now I like to use the edge here along the side of my trimmer and the edge here at the top of my trimmer. Even though I've got that scored in half, or what I thought looked like half, sometimes when you go to fold it, it can still be a little bit off. This one is actually not bad. I've actually done this one quite well today. But just in case, I'm going to tuck it right up into that corner, push it up into that corner there, and hold it there in place, make sure it's all lined up, and then burnish with my bone folder. That'll make sure that it is actually lined up exactly right, because sometimes, so many times I do it a little bit off, and then when you fold it, like it's a little bit skew-iff, and I'm like, oh, I've got it a little bit wrong there. All right, now this piece, we're going to need to trim this down to have that fit on the front of the card there, because that's not going to fit, because that's actually the same size, and we want to be able to see a little bit of a border. So we're going to trim this down to 14.25 by 9.9. So we might go this way first. Let's see, 9.9 would be there. That's going to trim off to about there. Oh, that would be about right actually. Now normally I would trim this down, this piece down, before I do the embossing and the die cutting, but because we were doing a bit of experimenting today, I had already done that part first, but it's all good. Now we want to make sure that this is sort of centered, so we're going to take a little bit off each side, but eventually we want this to be 14.25 centimeters wide. So I'm first of all going to, let's see how much we need to take off first. 14.25. Oh, we don't need to take off too much actually, so I can probably just take off from this side. 1, 2, 2.5. I'm going to take that off there. Our butterfly will just about be centered. Let's see. Oh, that worked out pretty good. Look at that. Not bad at all. It's a little bit off, but not too bad. So that's all we had to take off. And now, when we lay that on our card, we've got that border. Okay, awesome. Now, we do need another piece of basic white, the same size as this, because we need to stamp our butterfly. Ah, this is where I might get caught, because it'll depend on the orientation of the butterfly. So this might actually end up being the wrong way round. I didn't think about that. So let's have a look with our butterfly. Actually, you know what? We'll cut a piece this size first. So that was 14.25, 14.25 by 9.9. I will put this up on my blog, so don't worry too much about measurements today, because I'll get this up on my blog this week, so that, oh, did I cut that straight? So that you'll all have the measurements. Okay, no, it looked like that was a little bit crooked, but it must just be my eyes. Okay, Yeah, because I think that's not going to work when I do the butterfly. I have a suspicion that the butterfly orientation is in the other orientation, flying off the other way. Let's see, let's see. Oh, you know what? The butterfly is a straight butterfly, and I think we can do it in any orientation we like. So this might actually work. Alrighty, I'm just going to put him down there for a minute. Now you will need a large block for this one. This is the E block. So you'll need an E block for the butterfly. There we go. Oh, look, we can actually stamp that in any orientation we like because it's going to fit right in there. Now, we want to make sure that we stamp that exactly where we've got that die cut, don't we? I wonder, am I going to be able to line that up well enough? First things first, let's clean our stamp. I haven't used this one before. It's brand new, and so we need to give it a good clean. So excuse the squeakiness. If you don't like loud sounds, turn your volume down for a minute. I'm going to give this a really good scrub because it's a photopolymer. And when the photopolymers come to you brand new, they've got a little bit of manufacturing oil on them, and they tend to repel the ink. So you've got to give them a really good clean first, especially the more solid shapes as well. Here we go. I'll get some scrap paper and dry that off. All right, now I'm going to do a test on this first, and I'm going to be stamping today in basic grey. And because this stamp is a large stamp and it's larger than the surface of my ink pad, I'm going to take my ink pad to my stamp. And I hope that I've got enough ink on my basic grey. I think I inked it up not long ago. So just see how that stamps down. Now this is going to be in the background behind the shaker. So, okay, it's a little bit patchy. So I'll give it another go. The other thing we could do is we could do it with Versamark and emboss it in black. That would be pretty, because then it would really pop in the background, wouldn't it? We are going to be adding some colour over the top of it as well with some blending brushes. So if it's not perfectly stamped, that's okay. All right, so that'll be good because I don't want it too dark. What you can do, if you're finding that the ink is repelling still a little bit on your ink, on your stamp, what you can do is like give it a little bit of a twist, and that kind of helps to condition your stamp a little bit. I find that that helps to hold the ink a bit better. All right, so let's see if I can line this up. I should really create a separate template so that I don't ink it on top of the, maybe I might do that. I might make a template in a deeper colour because it's really hard to see the white on the white. So let's see, what have I got? Do you know what? I've got some Berry Burst here. Why don't I just use that? We'll just cut a piece of that and I'll quickly cut a template so that I can see where I'm stamping. Cut this in half. It would also be nice stamped on the Beautiful Bokeh paper. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Maybe I should do that. And have that in the background, the Beautiful Bokeh paper in the background, rather than colouring with my blending brushes. That's a really good idea, Amber. Maybe I could do that. All right, I'll just make a template first. With that die. And we want to have it in the similar orientation. I mean, I can maneuver it, but it would be good to have it in the same orientation so that I make sure let's just see, so that I make sure that they're going to line up. So I kind of want it there like that. You know what I might do? So that I've got it exactly the same, make sure that that's lined up. I'm going to trace around it with a pencil so I know where to line up my die. Whoopsie, that moved. There, that should do. And then that'll show me where to line up my die to create a little template. We're doing things a long way around today, I feel, but it's all good. It'll be worth it in the end. I'm going to get a little bit of washi just to hold that on. Now, if your washi tape is really sticky, just take a little bit of the washi tape, dab it on your clothes or on your skin, and that will take off some of the sticky so that it's not too tacky when you're using it on your, to hold your dies in place so that they don't tear your cardstock when you remove the washi tape. That's about right there. So do the same with this piece, just dab it off on my shirt, a little bit there on my skin. My skin is very dry, my hands and wrists and everything's very dry at the moment with the cold weather. I tend to get a lot of dermatitis during the winter, so my skin's always dry and cracked and whatever, but it is what it is, so you know. All right. I'll just quickly run this through. Oops, off camera. And this is going to be just a normal die, so it's going through with your die adapter plate and your clear plates. There we go, so we've made ourselves a little template now. Oh, I dabbed that off my clothes and it still tore the cardstock. That was very sticky washi tape. Some washies are stronger than others. That one seems to be a strong one. Lots of adhesive. There we go. And look, now we've got a pretty butterfly that we can save for later. I'll just rub out the pencil marks on there though from where I traced that other piece. Okay. Now, instead of using that, we can use that to line up. Oh, you know what? I need to cut this down to the same size now. Well, then that won't work, will it? Because then that will be the wrong orientation if I cut that down. Oh, I should have thought of that before. I should have had this piece at the exact size that I wanted to line up with the other one to make sure it was exactly the right orientation. That's okay. I'm going to do this. And we'll trim this piece down. Sorry, I'm doing things back to front and probably very confusing today. I thought this one was going to be so straightforward, but no, it's all right. I will have instructions for you on my blog, so never fear. See, this is why we do these videos, so you can learn what not to do, as well as what to do. Now let's see. Oh, I put that around the wrong way. Turn that over. Line up our butterflies, and I've still got to trim a little bit more cardstock off there. Told you I was having one of those days where I was a little bit disorganized, but it's okay. I know you'll all forgive me. So I'll just trim a bit more down off that. So we get the right the right sized panels so that they line up perfectly. And you know what? Now that I'm making this template, it better work. That's all I can say. Oh, it would be so much easier with a stamp positioning tool. You are right, Leslie. Yes, that would have been so much quicker and easier, wouldn't it? Why did I not think of that? Because I do have one. I could have used it. All right, we are almost there. This is just a little bit off, but that's not too bad now. Okay, so now I like Amber's idea about stamping it straight onto designer series paper. So then rather than stamping it and then coloring with the blending brushes, should we stamp it directly onto some of the designer series paper, and we could use that pretty sheet that I liked. I don't think oh yeah, I did pull it out. And then it can already be colored. That would save time, wouldn't it? But I will have to cut it down. So what if we had it stamped straight onto the DSP? But now I've just made the template. Oh no, that would still work. That would still work. Okay. Yeah, I like that idea. Now, which part of the DSP do we like? Oh, I like that with the purple up there. So what if we cut a piece from that corner there with the purple and the blue, and we've got a little bit of the Calypso coral in there as well. All right, so let's cut that same size. So we want to cut it at 9.9 centimeters. 9.9 by, oh, I just did that the wrong way, didn't I? That's okay. Wait on now. Totally just cut that in the wrong orientation. That's okay, it'll still work. Let's work out which way we want to have that. Yeah, that way. Okay, so we need to cut it off from that side. Yeah. Oh my goodness. 1, 2. You'll all be scratching your heads today thinking, who is this woman? Does she actually know what she's doing? It's an experimentation day today. This is why usually I have these things planned out well in advance. Well, at least a little bit in advance, maybe not well in advance. Okay, we are now on the right track. Good, good. Let's just double check these two are the same size. Okay, that's what we want. So we're going to stamp our butterfly on here. Okay, is it making sense now? It is Monday, I know, right? And I've just had a birthday, you know, yesterday, so, you know, my brain might be a little bit fried. Not fried, not in that way, but just a little bit, you know, not on my game today. Yes, that will work. Let's do that. Okay. I shouldn't say my brain will be fried. I'm tired. But just so you all know, I actually don't drink, so I didn't mean anything in that way, in that regard. Because I don't drink. I had a drink of orange juice and that was all. I got a free orange juice for my birthday because they were trying to offer us like a free glass of wine and things like that because it was my birthday, and I'm like, I don't drink. And they're like, what else can we give you? And I said, look, I've got an orange juice here. How about you just give me that for free? They're like, yeah, sure, we can do that. And I'm like, okay, great, thanks. So I got my orange juice for free. So I'm a cheap, you know, cheap drinker. Water and orange juice, that's it. You know what I should have asked for? I should have asked for a chai latte. That's what I should have asked for. I should have said, oh yes, please, I'll have a free chai latte. That would have been better than an orange juice. Why did I not think of that? Anyway, there was a bit of a mix-up with my meal last night, and so I was a little bit miffed because they I've got a lot of dietary, yes, I am in party mode. That's exactly it. That's exactly it, Julie. Thank you. You understand me. So my dinner last night, I wanted this really yummy sounding chicken dish. It was wrapped in prosciutto and it had a stuffing or like a filling of something or other. I can't remember what it was, and pistachio nuts, and I love pistachio, and I thought, oh, that'll be so yummy in a filling. And it was labeled as gluten-free, which is great because I'm gluten-free, as most of you know, but I also have an allergy to onion. So I said to them, does this contain onion? And the waitress said to me, no, it shouldn't, because it's not listed there on the ingredients on the menu. Now, can you all see what I'm doing here? I'm lining this up using my little template I created. It's not listed on there, so it shouldn't contain onion, but I will double check. And I said, yes, please double check, because I get really, really sick if I eat onion. I don't want to get sick on my birthday. I don't want to get sick at all, but anyway, so yay, it worked. Look, perfect. It didn't start stamped super dark, but that's okay. I wasn't necessarily going for a super dark butterfly in the background, so it's all good. But that worked, yay. I'm going to keep this template now for future use because that will be very handy. Anyway, so everybody else did their orders, and then they came back and they started bringing out their food. And then she came back to me after my husband had his, and my son and daughter-in-law had theirs. Amber hadn't had hers served yet. But they came back to me and they said, I'm so sorry, but that stuffing actually has, although it's gluten-free, it has onion in it. And then she was saying, you know, it's got this amount of onion in it. Will that be okay? I'm so, so sorry. And I said, no, I'm sorry. I can't eat that. That's going to make me really sick. So I said, I actually can't eat that. I'll have to have something else. So the poor waitress, she felt terrible. She said, I'm so sorry. They didn't check. She said, I had written it on there that you have an onion allergy. They didn't actually check until they were just like serving it up, like plating it up, or about to serve it up, or whatever it was. Anyway, so then I had to choose something else. So I chose this crispy skin salmon because I thought, well, that'll be quick to cook. That'll come to me. And I like salmon anyway. It's yummy. And the poor girl, she apologized. She kept coming back and apologizing so many times. She felt so terrible. And then one of the owner guys, he came as well, and he apologized. And then he came back later for a little chat. I think he was just, you know, smoothing things over to make sure everything was okay. They didn't know at this stage that it was my birthday. And my daughter-in-law kept on saying, can I let them know it's your birthday? And she felt so terrible for me because she's like, but it's your birthday. That's not fair. You were really excited about your chicken, and you know, that's not fair now that you've got to wait for your meals, and we've already all got ours because Amber's had them being served as well. And I'm sitting there watching them all eating, waiting for my meal. Anyway, it was an interesting night. My salmon came in the end and I ate it and it was yummy. So all good. I got it in the end. And then yeah, so I double checked with them when they served it right. So it's gluten-free and there's no onion, and there's no onion in the mashed potato, is there? And they assured me, no, it's all good. It's safe for you to eat. And I said, what about the sauce that's on the plate? Is that gluten-free? And she said to me, oh, it should be. I'm like, oh, no. And I thought, well, it better be because it's, I didn't say that, but I thought, well, it better be because they've labelled it as a gluten-free. And if I eat it and it's gluten, I'm not going to be in a good way. Anyway, I did go to bed last night feeling a bit sick. So, I don't know. But then Amber said today she thinks maybe I had a bit much sugar. So, now I'm just looking to see here. I'm looking for my colours on my shelf. Oh, goodness, I hope the ones that I need. Oh, she's got them out for me. Thank you, Amber. Amber already had all the colours out for me. Here they are here. So, yes. So, I wasn't feeling too well through the night, but I'm okay today. Thank goodness. So, anyway. But I still enjoyed my salmon, and I enjoyed my dessert when we came home. It was after that I didn't feel sick straight away. It was only late at night, and then through the night I started to feel a bit off, and I thought, oh, maybe there was something in the sauce, or maybe the salmon just wasn't cooked well enough, or I don't know. But then Amber said, no, Mum, I think you probably just overdid the sugar, because I've been really good with sugar lately and I haven't been eating that much sugar, but I had a lot of tasty treats yesterday. So that's probably what it was. My body just went into sugar overload and went, nope, we don't do that anymore. So I feel okay now. Yeah, anyway, it was fun. And we found these really yummy gluten, any of you that are gluten-free out there, we found these really yummy gluten-free churros that are now available in Woolies and maybe Coles too, I don't know, but we got them at Woolies. And they are delicious. So we cooked some of them up last night and had them for dessert with some fresh fruit, some berries. And Amber had made little cookies, little heart cookies, but I didn't have any cookies last night because I knew I was having the churros and the Nutella, because we have to dip them in Nutella. So naughty, but really yummy. And so I had those last night, but I did have fruit. But maybe the berries are high in sugar too, so maybe I just overdid it. Anyway, I enjoyed it and it was good. And I feel fine today, so all good. So today I'm just eating healthy. So I've had all the, oh, actually, now that I say that, no, I do have something yummy in the fridge for dessert tonight, which I forgot about. So I'll see how I'm feeling later. Maybe I might save it for tomorrow. So just adding some colour to these little butterflies, these little embossed butterflies on the front panel, because I thought that would be really cute just to add a bit of colour here. So I'm just using my small blending brushes so that I can control the colour a bit better rather than the large ones, because these butterflies are only small. And I'm not going to, I'm just doing the butterflies on the front. I'm not going to do around the main butterfly or, you know, the whole area. Just do it like that and just, yeah, add that little touch of colour there. Now we might want to go with purple up here on this one. I love this embossing folder. It's so pretty. And we'll do this one. Which one's this one? This one is the, gotta make sure I don't mix up my brushes. So when you might notice that I'm inking up my brushes and then I'm tapping them off on my scrap paper first, just to take off a little bit of the ink so the concentration isn't too heavy of the ink, because otherwise it can get a bit blobby and yeah, it won't look as good. So just make sure that you do tap them off before you apply the ink then to your project. We do that every time we re-ink our blending brushes, whether that's the small ones or the large ones, just so we don't get any big blobs of colour or get it too heavy when we don't want it heavy. There we go. Oh, look, there's a tiny little wing down here. Let's do purple for that one. That's the Fresh Freesia purple. We've got a few different purples in the Stampin' Up colour range, which is lovely. I love purples, so I love all of the tones of the purples and mauves. My bridesmaids, we were just looking at some photos last night of our wedding, or Amber and I were looking at them after John had gone to bed, and I was showing Amber my, we were just having a look at some of the photos there and having a look at, you know, how young I looked then when I got married, which I was very young. But also too, like, we were looking closely at the design of the bridesmaids' dresses and the flowers and my wedding dress and everything. And my bridesmaids were actually purple. They weren't purple. The dresses were purple. I was supposed to have 2 wearing mauve and 2 wearing purple, but the 2 wearing purple fell pregnant and were like 7 and 8 months pregnant at the time when I got married. So they weren't my bridesmaids in the end. But the 2 that were wearing the mauve were my bridesmaids instead. but the mauve just on its own was too washed out. So we ended up going with the two purples. I guess I could have had one purple and one mauve, but anyway, they looked lovely in the purple. I guess it was more of a, maybe a Highland Heather purple. Well, no, probably not. Maybe more of a gorgeous, grape purple, actually. I'm just trying to think. They were quite purpley purple. They were, maybe they're between the two. Just looking at the lids of these. Yeah, it was not as dusty as the Highland Heather, maybe quite closer to the gorgeous grape. Anyway, they were quite purple, but, you know, they looked really pretty. Back in the day, back in the late 80s, is when I got married, 1989. Yeah, they were sort of the colours, you know, and you had the water wave taffeta. And those of you who are younger will be thinking, water wave taffeta, what on earth is that? But those of you that are older will go, oh yeah, I remember that. All right, so these are going to be our layers. That's going to go on the front of our card. So I have changed it up just a little bit from the original, which is great. Always good to change things up and make it our own. Just wondering how that's going to line up when we do the shaker. Okay, so we've got a bit of colour on there. Now we need to, I need to find those strips so that I can make the shaker component. All right, 2 secs. Have a look at that there for a moment. Check out these dies while I just go and have a look and see in my drawer over here behind me if I can find my strips, because I know that I had them. Found them. Okay, I found them. So I had cleaned out my adhesives drawer just recently, and I had moved them. Well, I don't know if I'd moved them or they'd slipped down, but they'd slipped down and they'd gone underneath something. I knew that they were there because I had seen them when I cleaned that drawer out just a few weeks ago. Now I've cut them down to fit in my drawer because they were too long to fit in my drawer. So I've actually cut the sheets in half. There we go. We've got plenty of them. So they come in lengths of 23.5 centimeters long. So that's how long the strips are usually, and then you just cut them down to the size that you need. But yeah, as you can see, I've sort of chopped mine. Oh, well, that's not. There you go. I've chopped mine in half. So that's why I couldn't find them. All right, good. We are all systems go. All right, first of all, I think we need to adhere this piece to our card base. So let's do that first. So pretty paper on the back though as well, isn't it? It's a shame to cover all that up as well. Isn't it always the way though? We always say, oh, that paper on the back is so pretty, I don't want to cover that up. But you know what? There's more paper where that came from. So it's all good. We can cover it up. All right, we're going to put that down onto our base. Get that lined up in the middle as best as we can. But we've got our liquid glue, so we can slide that around a little bit if we need to. I think that's pretty good. There we go. Yeah, I think that butterfly would have looked really nice having been stamped in Versamark and embossed with the black embossing powder. Would have really made it pop, but that's okay. As I said, this is the first one I've made in a really, really long time. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take these strips and we're going to put them around the butterfly. And these strips, they're quite narrow. They are a higher dimension to our normal Stampin' Dimensionals. But they are going to be, I think I'm going to have to go across the antennae like that. Wait a minute, let's go this way first. Yes, but they are, so they're nice and high in dimension, and because they are thin strips, they're kind of quite flexible, so you can take them around rounded edges. I just need my snips though, because I can't bend that any further than what I've just bent it. And it is pulling the cardstock a little bit, so I'm just going to cut that there, and then we'll take this next piece around a bit more. And we can go out a bit further there and then bring it in with the next piece. So we're just going to put that just around on the inside, or the outside I should say, of the design there, so that all of our blingy bling bling stays within the butterfly image. And I hope that I am doing this well enough. And you want to make sure that the that your adhesive strips, foam strips they're called, foam adhesive strips, match up, so that none of your little embellishments can escape. So you've got to make sure that they line up, they butt up against each other. And you want to make sure that it is just inside, oops, that one might be a bit close, just outside the edge of the die cut shape, so that you can't sort of see that tape when you're looking through the card from the front. So tell me in the comments, who else likes to make shaker cards? Do you make them very often? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know who else makes them. You might even have some tips for me, because I don't make them very often at all, and so you might do them a bit differently to how I'm doing them. Or you might see me doing this and say, no Mandy, you're doing that wrong. But you know, there's lots of different ways of doing things. But okay, so we've got that. Look, it looks really messy from the back side, but nobody is going to see that when we adhere that down to the card front. Now we've got to make sure that we then have adhesive. Oh, we want to make sure that's not going to stick out the top there of the card, don't we? So I might just have to redo this piece here. Whoops, that tore. Okay, we'll do another strip there. You like making them, Leonie? Oh, awesome. How am I going with mine then? Am I on the right track? I don't make them very often at all. Oops. So we want to make sure that we get that lined up there. Make sure that's all sealed so that our little dimensionals don't come, our little embellishments, I should say, don't escape. Good, good, good. Did I forget to adhere the window sheet? Oh, I did too, Amber. The window sheet. Thank you. I knew I had missed a step. Thank you. See, I need you all there with me, because I just made a big boo-boo. The window sheet should have been adhered first before the dimensionals. Thanks, Amber. What would I do without you? Somebody else would have yelled at me at some point when I realized that all of the all of the shakers escaped. Yes, you know what? I completely forgot to even get the window sheets out off the shelf. I don't even have them out off the shelf. Oh, this one's stuck tight. That's okay. That's all right. You will learn from my mistakes, and you will learn, I think I'll have to ditch that piece. You will learn what not to do. As I said, it's been a long time since I've made one. In fact, I think the last shaker card I made, from memory, I don't remember making one since, is when we had that snail suite. What was the suite that had the snails? And it had the little envelopes, and I used some of those little stamped envelopes and things to make the shaker inside the card. I think that was the last shaker card I made. Goodness, that was years ago. It's not really my thing, I think, the shaker cards. I like some of the easy ones that people make to using the clear envelopes, the clear cellophane envelopes. Those ones look really great, and I think, oh, that's such an easy way of doing it. I must do that one day. There we go. I have to chuck this one out. This one got sticky. Not very often, but occasionally for your grandchildren you make them, Leslie. Oh, awesome. You were thinking about the method I was using. Were you, Leonie? Yes, I know. That's because I was making a mistake. All right, let me find my window sheets. Okay, they are here somewhere. They're on one of these shelves. Here they are. I'll close my blinds while I'm up. It's gotten very dark outside. There we go. Okay, so this is what I wanted, was the window sheets. So they come in 12 by 12 pieces like this. Now let's see, would that fit? Oh, perfect. I can use that piece. Yay. Okay, awesome. I don't need to cut any more. Well, I'll just trim this piece down. Alrighty. Just organising myself over here. I've got stuff everywhere. It's a mess. Okay. Right. Now, we need to cut down our window sheet because that needs to be adhered first. Am I going to be able to catch that with the adhesive? Is that going to be wide enough? Ooh. Maybe. Maybe I might cut a piece a bit wider actually. I'm just worried that I won't get the adhesive, I won't be able to get the adhesive in there. Yeah, I don't want to, I want to make sure that I have the adhesive attached properly so that it doesn't escape. Yeah, I will cut a slightly larger piece, I think, just to be sure. All right, so what was this piece? This piece was 9.9. So I might take it just down to 9. Find my good ruler here. Got all these rulers, but you know how you have your favorite? So I might just take, if I go 9.5, 9.5 might, yeah, I'll go 9.5. 9.5. 9.5, yep, by 14. What did we just take off? We took off, so it was at 9.9, we took off 4 millimeters, so I've got 18.35, thereabouts, that should do. I might chuck out that little snippy bit because I don't think we'll use that. Now let's see, whoopsie, whoops, got my dimensionals, my foam strips going everywhere now. Let's see now. That will be better. That will give me good coverage there. Okay. Alrighty, let's try that again. Now, this time I'm going to use my tear and tape, which is also nearly empty. And we're going to put that around here. Such a narrow little strip just here. I really cut that quite fine. Quite close just there. It's going to stick that bit there on its own because I'm worried that I won't get the adhesive across there. Okay. Oh, you were thinking that I make shaker cards different to you. Yeah, because I was doing it wrong. I was getting another roll of tape. Hang on a sec. Yeah. I mean, I know that there are lots of ways of doing things, but certain things, like making shaker cards, there is a system that you do need to follow to make sure that things work properly. Oh, you sometimes use the cello bags instead of the window sheet? Yeah, I'd like to try doing that one day. See how it works. Yeah. I'll have to give that a go. Well, I don't know. After today, I might not want to make another shaker card for a while. We'll see, we'll see. Nearly just cut my card then instead of the tape. Oh my goodness. What's happening today? All right, now is that going to be right to put that on there? Yeah, I might put one more strip down here. And I need to strip down the other end. Yeah, I'll do an extra strip down here too. Sorry, my voice is trailing off. I'm thinking as I'm doing it, so sometimes when I'm thinking, my voice just trails off as I process. Right, is that right now? If I stick that on there, is that going to be right, do you reckon? Do I need more adhesive down here near the butterfly to hold that? Or is that, it won't matter because the dimensionals are going on the other side of that, right? I mean the embellishments. They're going to be on the other side, they're going to be on this side. So that should work, right? I think so. Oh, thank you, Leslie. Thank you for the encouragement. Yes, I know it has been. I'm very rusty with shaker cards. Extremely, extremely rusty. And you know what? It's also too, when you are, like if I was just doing it on my own, perhaps I would do a better job too. But when you're filming, there's so many things to think about when you're filming and you're trying to watch comments and focus on what you're doing and making sure the camera's okay and the sound is okay and, you know, all the things. All the things. That's my excuse anyway, so. And I'm sticking to it. No, I really don't know what I'm doing. I do. I have made shakers before. Just been a long time. All right. Now, okay, so now we've got our window. Okay. Now we need to put our tape, our, these ones. Foam tape. I'm going to use new ones because those ones keep coming off the backing sheets and I'm thinking they've lost a bit of adhesive, so I'm worried they're not going to hold. So we'll start again with our foam adhesive strips. That's what they're called, foam adhesive strips, and we're going to do what we did before and go along the outside of that butterfly, and we can bend those around like that. And this is probably the point where I should put my glasses back on too. So I'll butt that one up against there. And we'll take that down here. Am I doing it right now, everyone? Tell me if I'm doing another mistake. Down here, round the corner. Round the corner. There we go, to make sure those line up. I am going to put my glasses back on though. I'm really struggling with my eyes today. Probably because I'm a bit tired too. Yep, doing it right. Awesome. Thanks, Leslie. Good, good, good. So get that, push that right up against the other one. We don't want to leave any gaps because we don't want any of our little sequins to escape. Up there. Hey, and that one's just going to join there like that. Awesome. There we go. It doesn't matter that we've got a little bit of a triangle there. Some of the sequins might get stuck up there, but that's okay. We'll have plenty more where that came from. So make sure they are all stuck. Okay, now we need to add extra foam strips to support the edges because otherwise it's going to be all wonky badonkus. Oh, thanks, Leslie. Thank you for the encouragement. I appreciate it. Do you know what? There's nothing worse when you are creating for other people, especially live, and you start making mistakes. It's one of those things like it just snowballs. One thing goes wrong and then something else goes wrong, and you can end up in a bit of a fluster sometimes. So, but yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty chilled right now. So I'm just, now when you're doing this, when you're adding the extra border pieces to hold the card up, make sure you are using the same foam strips because they're the same height as what you've used around the butterfly, because the dimensionals, as I mentioned before, they're not quite as high. So otherwise everything won't sit flat. It'll be all wonky. So make sure if you start using the foam strips, you continue with the foam strips. There we go. Now to test, I'll turn that over and just make sure that feels nice and that feels really sturdy. So there's no bouncy bits, which is awesome. Okay, good. Something on there already on my acetate, on my window sheet there. And because it's static, it just wants to stick. Alrighty. Yay! Okay, now the scary part. Where's our sequins? Now I believe the best thing to do is to sprinkle the sequins onto the butterfly first and then take all of this backing paper off the tape and then put that over the top. Okay, because otherwise if you do it the other way, if you put the sequins in there and then put the card over the top, you can't line things up. So we're going to do it like this, and let me know if this is how you all do it. I'll have to smush them all in. Not sure how many we're going to use here. Whoa, they're going everywhere. They're really pretty. I love these sequins. So they can actually just go into the middle, you know, because we've got all of this section here. Let me move that over a bit. You've got all of this section in here for the sequins. So you don't necessarily need to put them inside the wings. They could just go into the center of the butterfly. I want to make sure that we get plenty in there because I want it to look pretty when it's shaken. I actually already have somebody in mind for this, but her birthday is not for a while yet, so I don't know. I might use it for somebody else. Let's see. I know a little girl who would love this, but her birthday is not until towards the end of the year. So what do you think? Is that enough? Do you think that's enough sequins, or do I need more? You all tell me, how many do you think? I think more is better with shaker cards, right? Would you agree? Do you think that's enough, or should I add more? That's the way you do it too, Leslie, like this. Oh, awesome. I'm on the right path. Yeah, it's like getting one red traffic light. You tend to get them all. Exactly, Leonie. Yes, yes. You put them in a pile in the middle, Glenda, rather than up in the wings. You think I should just push them down to the middle? I could do that. Do you think I've got enough there? Or should I add some more? Because I've got plenty. I can add plenty. Enough, Dimity? You think that'll be enough? You dust the surface with the embossing buddy to get rid of some of the static. Oh, should I do that? Should I dust this with this? You mean this part in the middle here, Leonie? Will it not leave it white and will it not leave it what do you call it, like, does it look dusty if I do that? So do you just rub it on? I'm waiting until I hear back from you because I don't want to make a mistake. Do I just like rub it on just in here? I'm waiting for the delay because there's a delay in it coming back. You know what? I'm just going to add a few more. Can't help myself. I'm just going to add a few more. Just a few more while I'm waiting. Whoop. Oh, look, there's some stray ones over here. Let's just add them too. There we go. Yeah, so what do I do? Do I do that? Leonie, do I rub that in? If you don't dust too heavily, okay, if you dust too heavily, it will make it white. Okay, so I just do it really lightly. Like that. Will that be enough? Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, cool. Thank you. See if that helps. Don't know if I did it enough, but we'll see. All right. This is the scary part. Here we go. Here we go. Let's hope I've done this right. I'm going to take all the backings off all of the mounting foam. If this works, you'll have to give me a big cheer. Do you know what? I think this one has ended up more stressful than the other card I was going to make. But that's okay. It's good to do something different for a change, isn't it? All right, is that all of them? Oh no, I missed this one. I have got the tiniest little sparkle. Oh no, it just came off. Had the tiniest little sparkle on my my thumbnail then. All right, so they're all off. Make sure. Yep. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm going to get this lined up right. Hang on, I'm going to have to get my head right over this. I'm going to have to bring it a bit closer to myself. Get my head over, so I'm trying to line this up and get it straight. Oh, goodness. Is it going to be straight? Here we go. Here we go. Hopefully I've got it straight. And push. I've got all my sequins in there in the middle. Oh, this is exciting. All right, give it a little push. Make sure all of that adhesive has adhered around the butterfly. We don't want any of those sequins sneaking out anywhere. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? We still have to put a sentiment on there yet. Oh my goodness, it's nearly 6 o'clock. Okay, here we go. Yay! Let's check. There's none falling out. Yay, it worked. Thank you everyone for your help. Okay, we do have a little bit of static in there. I probably could have added a bit more of the this anti-static pillow with the embossing buddy, but I didn't want to go too heavy. But that's okay, because they're pretty anyway. Yay! Look at that. It worked. Oh, beautiful. Good job. And did I get that straight? Look, it's a little bit low. It probably could have been a little bit higher, but I'm not gonna complain about that. That's okay. That's okay. Alrighty. Now we need a sentiment. Okay, let's do a quick sentiment. We've got, let's use the happy birthday, and let's use one of the dies. I've got the happy birthday already on a block. We only need something really small. And which one is it? I think it's this one. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's this one. Let's see. Is it that one? Yes, that one will fit. And we can just pop it down there, I reckon. In the, oh, we could put it up there too. I don't know, which butterflies do we want to cover? There's less butterflies down here to cover, so we could put it down there. In the sample, they had the butterfly flying the other direction. They had stamped some of these splodges on the paper, and I think the paper they had used, I don't know if they'd used DSP or if they'd used blending brushes to colour the paper. And they stamped some of these splodges very lightly around, like stamped off fresh freesia or something. So we've done it differently today. So we have changed it up and made it our own. So that's awesome. Now, what colour strip? I feel like maybe we could do fresh freesia here for the strip. Let's see. I've got some scrap. Let me grab a scrap. Rather than cutting into, oh yeah, that'll be pretty. Let's do that with white embossing powder. Let's make some space over here. I'll use that, pop that away. I'll move those out of the way. It was good having those strips cut down to those shorter lengths, I have to say. It was much easier to use them that way. All right. I'm going to use my embossing buddy. Oh, just get my scrap paper. Hang on. I'm going to use my embossing buddy on my fresh freesia here before I emboss, so that I don't get embossing powder where I don't want it. I'll need my Versamark. Got embossing powder all over my hands now. Don't have my heat tool out, but that's okay. I can grab that off the shelf. It's just right behind me. It's on my trolley actually. So tap, tap, tap. We need to make space for the die, so we'll do it up around about here. Okay. Oh wow, I didn't stamp that very well. That's okay. It's a good thing that every piece of cardstock has two sides. I could do that, Leonie. I could, but that will take me more time. I'm trying to be quick. That is, I love that idea though. That is a great idea. All right, so tap, tap, tap. In fact, we used this stamp in our class on the weekend, and they were doing some masking because they were only using the birthday, because the happy was die cut letters. So that was my second masculine card class. It was a repeat of my earlier one that I had done. Was it last Wednesday or the Wednesday before, Leonie? Okay, now I'm hoping that that white embossing powder is actually going to show up on that fresh freesia, because that's a very pale colour. And now I'm thinking, don't know how that's going to show up, but we'll see. We'll see. Now my rule of thumb is always, when you're using embossing powder, before you heat, you always return the embossing powder back to the container and you put the lid on before you turn the heat tool on, so that there are no accidents with your embossing powder. You don't want to accidentally melt it or blow it all over the place with your heat tool. So that's always a good rule of thumb to follow. Ah, you know what? I just got black in that. Thought I had cleaned that out quite well, but clearly not well enough. That's okay. This bottle was nearly empty anyway. It's all right. I might be able to clean that out. I'll just let that sit on the top. Okay. Oops. I'll put the cap back on my heat tool, on my embossing tray, and I'll grab my heat tool. Okay. Undo the cord and plug that in. I'll have to unplug something. Or will I unplug? I'll unplug my computer because it's charged up now. I've only got 2 plugs. I do have a third plug, but I've got to Oh, that was turned on. It is on an extension cord, which I have to bring over from the other desk, so we won't do that. All right, so I'll quickly turn this on, heat it up for a moment. And then I'm going to put my silicone craft sheet down to protect my desktop from the heat. And we will heat that. Oh no, that will show up. Look at that. It's melting beautifully. That's done. Nice and quick, wasn't it? And then we're going to die cut that, but we want to make sure that that's cooled down before we die cut, because we don't want to take off any of that embossing again. So just make sure that that's nice and cool. That didn't heat up too much actually. Good. All right, we'll pop that down. I'll reuse that washi tape that I had before, because that will be less tacky now. Is that lined up in the middle? Nope. About there. And we'll run that through the die cutting machine. Oops. Is that lined up? Not quite lined up actually, is it? No, it's not quite. It's a little bit, oh, it's hard to tell with the shadows from the, it's a little bit low. I mean, a little bit high. Hang on, I'll just redo that. Depends on the angle of the light, because you get the shadows casting. And sometimes you think you've got it and then you realize, hang on a minute, that's not quite right. So let's just have another go of that. And now, of course, because it's getting late, I'm trying to rush. And of course, when you're rushing, we all know what happens. There, I think that's better. Does that look better when I hold that up? That's a bit better. Okay. All right, we'll take that through our die cutting machine. Sorry about if it's bumping the table, it's bumping the camera a little bit. My plates need a good clean, I'll tell you that. There we go. Oh. Okay. Alrighty. Chuck that in the bin, and we'll not chuck the die in the bin though. Make sure we put that away. Alrighty. So then, I think we're just going to pop that down there or up there. Oh, we could do either, couldn't we? Bottom or top? I think top is better because it covers up less of the butterfly, doesn't it? I might just pop it up there. And we'll get some Stampin' Dimensionals for that. Do you notice that there's no ribbon on this card? Oh my goodness, how did I make a card with no ribbon? But we've got lots and lots of bling. Try that again. There we go. Okay. There we go. Pop that up there. Now on the original card they had 2 layers of label, one in a darker color and like behind, and then one in a lighter color. But yeah, I think that's nice just on its own. And then we can use some of the little gems, the little sequins from inside, and we can pop them on here. top. Oh yes, you liked it at the top, Dimity. Well, that's good because that's where I decided to put it. So that worked out well. We can put some little sequins on there. We'll just adhere those with a little bit of, whoops, a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue to just add an extra little bit of bling there on the top. What do you think? We'll do that. And we don't have any ribbon, but that's okay because we've got lots of bling and we've got lots of other things happening on here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue just on my adhesive sheet. What am I talking about? Let me think. My silicone craft sheet, and I'm going to pick up my sequins with my putty end of my take your pick tool. Just going to dip it in that glue just to get a little bit of glue on it. I don't want it to smush out, so I just tap that back off, just tap that off again a little bit, and now I can put it on my project and you won't get that oozing, or shouldn't do anyway, of that glue. There we go. I'll do the same with the other one. Just tap that in a little bit of that glue and pop down there like that. There we go. Now look, oh look, that one just came back off. I mustn't have had enough glue. I can probably improve a little bit on this card by just making that DSP layer that's underneath just a little bit smaller, so that I had a little bit more leeway of adding this layer on top of it. But you know what? The little girl that I want to give this to, she's not even going to notice that. So there you go. Finished. There's our shaker card. Beautiful. See how that you can just see. So this is what not to do. See how you can just see that layer there. And also too, I've got the adhesive really close to the edges there. I probably should have put a bit more across there just to tidy that up a little bit under there to make that, you know, so that you've got that seamless straight edge along, just to make that a little bit tidier. So there are a couple of things that I could improve on next time. Yeah, just by making that layer of DSP that's on the cardstock just a little bit smaller, so it sits within the frame of this, not the same size. It'll make it a bit easier to line this up. Yeah, but that's okay. That's all right. Yeah, I'm happy with how that turned out overall. But yeah, learnt a lot today from that. So thank you all so much for your help with that card today. Oh, thanks, Leslie. Thank you so much for your help too, and your advice with that. That's, yeah, I was really appreciative of that. All right, I'm going to tip the camera back up face to face so I can say goodbye to you all properly. Bear with me 2 secs. There we go. Okay. Well, that was a bit of a mammoth effort, wasn't it? But I was glad that I got to share a little bit of my birthday with you first before we started, and my brooch, my earrings, and my bags that I showed you. And I think those bags are going to inspire some future projects as well. So, but here's our little shaker card. It's a bit hard to shake it when you're holding it up, but you can kind of see the shakers in there. Yeah, it's better to shake them when they're like that. But there you go. So it turned out to be quite different to the sample. So that's good. I'm glad that I changed it up to make it my own. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you picked up some tips as I went along there of what to do and what not to do. So I hope it helped you in your card making. But let me know if you try a shaker card like this, especially if you haven't made one before, and let me know how you go. I'd love to hear about it. All right, well, thank you all so much for joining me today. Again, thank you all. Thank you to all of you who sent me birthday wishes yesterday. I really, really appreciate that. I really loved reading all of your messages, and I will get back to replying to each of you as I can. yeah, because I really appreciate your love and support. So thank you all so much. I hope you all have a great week. As I said, stay safe this week with the weather down here on the east coast of Australia. It's going to be a bit nasty over the next few days, so stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to seeing you all next week at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for some more crafting. And I don't know what we're going to make next week. We'll work it out. And yeah, it'll be a surprise for you all next week. All right, take care everyone. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Happy crafting. Bye.